Welcome back everyone to my new YouTube video. This is the voice of TRADEWITHWORLDBANK. If this is the first time you are checking up on this channel, make sure to click on the subscribe button and don't forget to also turn on the notification icon so that you can get notified when I drop beautiful contents like this. Yeah, so in today's video, we're always going to be looking at analysis, last week analysis, the forecast, and then what we should be expecting for next week. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm going to look into some pairs in the volatility index also, and I know what you should be expecting and what we saw last week too, and that was played out. So this is Euro CHF. We always start with Euro CHF, Euro USD, and GBP JPY. Last week on Euro CHF, I remember this clearly, and while we were in this WYCKOFF thematic distribution, right? Accumulation. Remember I told you guys it was a WYCKOFF accumulation, and then we're waiting for a liquidity grab, which happened here. It was the liquidity grab that happened here. Then I said we should be expecting a retest into this break of structure, but that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen, and you can see how it's moved powerfully to the upside. So taking trades on this zone, you could have used that zone, the demand zone, since you felt that this mitigation did not happen. So this is a nice mitigation here. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, there was a break of structure and there was a mitigation of the demand zone too. So I don't want to go deep down into smaller time frames. So look at entries, but so then we had this 1 hour supply zone also, 1 hour supply zone that the market also respected, and then since then it has been selling aggressively. Now let's go to the weekly again. Okay, we are still respecting this weekly supply zone. Let's go to the daily time frame to check. Okay, now entering the daily time frame, we're expecting this daily supply zone. Okay, so it's like this daily supply zone. Sorry about that. It's like this daily supply zone is the supply zone we are looking for selling opportunities from this sell here. So let's enter into the 4 hour time frame. Then we're going to enter into the 1 hour time frame soon. So for the 4 hour time frame, this is the only demand zone we have so far, and 1 hour supply zone here. So as you can see, there's a liquidity grab outside our supply zone. Liquidity grab. You can see there's a liquidity grab. Now we have the supply zone. Okay, so after there's a liquidity grab like that, you should know that the supply zone might not really need a lot of confirmations. So you can use aggressive entry or conservative entry. So what is the conservative entry? Conservative entry is using confirmation, right? Making use of confirmation before taking a sell on this supply zone here. But using the aggressive entry, it means you are placing your sell limits, instant pending order ASAP on this supply zone here because of the liquidity grab, the imbalance, and supply zone itself. Okay, now looking at this demand zone, this is a zone that can push the markets to the upside, right? But remember, we are still bearish. Why am I bearish? Because I'm feeling like market wants to give us a higher high here, then it has given us a higher low, right? Then another higher high, sorry, a lower high, then a lower low. So it should give us a lower high somewhere around this zone, then it should continue selling, give us what, a new low. But if it should break above this high, lower high, then we should be expecting what, demand zones, and then should be expecting higher lows, higher high, higher lows, higher high, like that. So what are the criteria for entering trades here now? Criteria for entering trades, first of all, I'll be looking for selling confirmations on this zone. But if market enters into this zone, first of all, you can definitely look for buying confirmations too. And then while looking for your buying confirmations, there is high probability markets can, mitigate it and then continue moving to the upside, right? Because as you can see on the daily time frame, we have the higher low, higher low, higher low. So probably market wants to give us a new higher high, but we can't say it. So let's just follow the other flow we have on the smaller time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame. But if we don't get a confirmation here and then market breaks this zone, then you should know that the sell are still very active like that. Okay, so that's for Euro CHF. Now let's move to the Euro USD. Euro USD played out very nicely after the reversal. You can see after everything I spotted last week when I said I wanted to see a change of character, a break of structure, and then the entry. There was an entry here, and then there was liquidity grab here, which spiked to the downside aggressively. So let's just check the 4-hour time frame. Check the 4-hour time frame. So we really don't have much here, but you can see now that this demand zone might not really hold because the sales are very aggressive. The sales are very aggressive. Sales are very aggressive. So taking a buy would be suicidal. So I won't advise taking buys there. In fact, if market opens, it can just continue pushing aggressively to the downside like that without respecting this demand zone. But that's what the market has for us. So for me, I would advise that wait for this demand zone to hold. Let it go up if it wants to go up. Let your supply zone be here. So I think that's the only reasonable zone we have. But this zone is too far, and market might not retrace into that zone, you understand? So let's this zone be a retracement zone for you. But if you can enter, then there's no problem. Let it be a retracement zone for you, and then once you get that, you wait for your confirmation, whichever confirmation you use, and then wait for your entry. Okay, so whatever important is the confirmation, entry in trade. So it's very important, very important. There are several ways to enter trades, actually, very different ways. It's not compulsory you it's not compulsory you wait for some confirmations. There are some trades that, like some trades I took on BTC here. There's some trades I took on BTC here. I didn't wait for any confirmation. I missed the sell here because it was midnight. I missed another sell because it was midnight. Took a buy here. Stop loss was 8 here. And then we took a sell yesterday in the mentorship group crypto discussion. So all the trades I've been taking on BTC, I've not been using any really special confirmations like that. So my students know about this. So that's why I always say confirm before you enter, but still there are different ways to confirm trades before entering. But at least I've given you one confirmation right now, which is the normal break of structure I always talk about. And you wait for it to continue selling. So break of structure, wait for it to continue selling like that. But I also don't think markets will retrace into this zone. Okay, what I feel like is market is going to keep selling, but let's still see. So it's played out exactly the way I expected it to play out. Okay, so the daily supply zone, broke structure on the daily, and then since then it has been very aggressive to the downside. So it might still continue going down. Okay, might just retrace a little bit up here. So in case you get that retracement up to this point, wait for your entry, or up to this point here also. It might retrace to this point, but whenever it retraces up to this point, look, you can start looking for buying opportunities because it have broken these supply zones. So the demand zone will have been formed around this zone. That's what you're going to be using for your entry, for your change of trend, because markets will have changed trend after getting this demand zone, breaking this supply zone. So then you can start looking for your entry, that demand zone entry to buy. Okay, now let's enter GBP JPY. Yeah, GBP JPY last week Sorry about that. GBP last week, we were somewhere here, and I said I was expecting this sell to hold, right? And then it should sell into this demand zone, or further still, sell into this demand zone. But none of it happened. Even the sell didn't hold. It's still very nice. And it just continued going up. And after that, gave us a change. Give us a change here. So what am I still expecting on GJ? I'm expecting to continue coming down. But let's check the weekly time frame. Okay, nothing really special. Let's check the daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame is respecting that resistance. Now we have a little zone there. Let's check. Let's enter the forward time frame. Okay, there's a supply zone that is there. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. Okay, we have a supply zone over there. So let's expand it out and see whether it's got respected or not. That's why I really don't delete my tools. You understand? This is the reason I don't delete my tools. You can see all my tools are still there because they will always play a significant role in the future when analyzing. So you can see that is supply zone. As you can see, markets went out a little bit and then still came back into it, and this will have been the beautiful entry because there was a break of structure here in the 1 hour time frame. There's a break of structure there, and that break of structure is enough as what your confirmation. Okay, that's your confirmation, and then your supply zone, your entry is going to be here. Even though using the 1 hour time frame, your stop loss is going to be wide, but still you can see that will be the entry. That's going to be the entry. So let's check the 30-minute time frame. So it's a good entry, pinpoint entry. You can see 30 minutes break of structure, 30 minutes mitigation, so on and so forth. So that is that, using that previous supply zone. Okay, now let's enter 1 hour time frame back and then check for potential trades for the week. So potential trades for the week, I'm still definitely bearish. We've broken out of this demand zone. We're almost breaking this demand zone also. So market might be respecting this demand zone here. I really can't tell, right? Okay, it's respecting it. And then these are my supply zones, okay? We have one here. Now, these are the zones for potential sell setups. So for those that have been following these, most of my analysis on YouTube channel, if you have been profiting, then that's very, very nice. So the only thing that can happen is this demand being respected, giving us a retracement into this supply zone here, or this supply zone here, this higher supply zone. So let's check these two zones on the Fibonacci, which, no, sorry, that's the high, right? So we have 0.6 here and 0.7. So this zone looks stronger. This one looks weak. Why does this zone look stronger? Because, you know, remember there's a rule that says we want to buy low and sell high, right? We want to buy low and sell high. So if we are all planning to buy low and sell high, it means we want to sell, right? So it means we should be selling at a very higher price that is higher than 166.512, right? We want to sell at a very higher price, like 167, so we can make the most profits. But when you're selling like 166 points, whatever, you are going to make profits. Remember, you're going to make profit, but it's always nice to sell higher. So that's why I'm taking these higher zones now, because it is above 0.5, and it means it is above my, is it discount now? It's not a discount, because discount is, This is a discounted level here, but it is above my normal level, which is 0.5. It's now on a premium level, you understand? You know, when you sell as premium, you sell higher, but when you sell at discount, you sell lower. I believe we all did commerce in our secondary school. So this is a premium zone because it's a zone that is higher than 0.5, and this is a discount zone because it is a zone that is lower than 0.5. Now, what does premium mean? Premium means you are selling above the expected price, and then discount means you are selling below the expected price. So I think they taught us this in school, and this is the first time what I learned in school be applying in Forex, because I didn't even practice this before I even made this video, start making this video. So that that just came by the way. Now let's now enter the 15 minutes time frame to check for potential entries here. 30 minutes time frame, okay. It's doing some sort of accumulation, right? Some sort of Wyckoff accumulation. So it's making me look at this zone like a valid zone now. Let's enter 5 minutes time frame. Yeah, so for me, there's still some sort of liquidity here. You can see there's still some sort of liquidity there, which I'm expecting this to grab liquidity. But still, remember, there is a zone here for entry. Now, how can I enter with this zone when there's liquidity here? Let me explain. Because we have break of structure already, right? So we have already. This zone give us a break of structure here. Now, I won't be entering here because there's liquidity below me, remember. If you can't spot the liquidity, then you have the liquidity. Well, now we spotted the liquidity, but we don't want to be the liquidity, and we want to enter this trade. So how do we do it? First thing is, let markets enter this zone, right? That is our entry zone. Let it give us a break of structure. Once we get that break of structure, then we can look for entry, right? So this is a safer way to enter, more safe way to enter like this, instead of jumping inside this zone and entering, because there's liquidity here. But once this zone has given us a break of structure, it means that zone is confirmed that it doesn't want to grab liquidity, and that zone wants to move higher, you understand? So that's about that. But the other entry is this liquidity grab, right? Liquidity grab, wants to grab liquidity, wait for a break of structure, and then that'll be your entry. Okay, so there are 2 entries here for entry in this zone. Remember, don't forget GBP, JPY. So that'll be that about that. And now let's move into volatility indices. Okay, volatility indices. This is crash 1000. This thing is playing with my emotions because I took a trade here and it doesn't want to trigger. Imagine. So I'll show you the entry now. I was using this other block here for my entry, and as you can see, I didn't get an entry. So painful. So I won't delete the, okay, maybe I'll delete the other, maybe I wouldn't delete the other, I don't know honestly. But what I'm going to do is I'll delete the other, you understand? So I'll wait for another movements to happen. Okay, so you can see how over refining affects you as a trader, but I'm fine because I'm going to get multiple entries after multiple breaks of structures, so that is not a problem. Okay, so let's analyze crash 1000 first of all. On crash 1000, I look for nothing than buying opportunities, than selling opportunities. So right now we have no selling opportunities yet. I'm only using this 1 hour zone. That was how I got my entry. I think that's only what we have for now. But let's go down into the daily time frame to show you the cause of everything that has been happening. So entering to the daily time frame, this is the supply zone has been causing a crash. So for those that are always using instant spending orders, there will be in profits right now. So for me, I took some sales here. I went out. I took some buys. Yeah, I always take some buys towards. That's if I'm ready to take the risk. But if I'm not ready to take the risk, just leave it. Most of the time, I always look for selling. As you can see, this was last week analysis, right? Last week analysis, they didn't get mitigated. So I'm still looking forward to this. I think that's the only thing we have for this pair. You can see now they are buying opportunities. That's one I've taken. Now we have volatility 75, 1S index and volatility 75 index. I think I analyzed this pair last week talking about liquidity grab. Yes, you can see this now. It's not as if I'm trading this pair. It's not as if I saw anything happen. You can see, guys. So let me quickly go back to the video because I love referencing things that happen. So let me quickly enter my YouTube channel. I love when I'm referencing something and it's playing out well. So I always like to, prove Mr. Beasts. I always like to prove. So let's go to the videos. Yeah. Don't just jump straight into buying this for confirmations. Okay. And we find the zone that points at that break structure here for a second. Okay. Let's move to volatility 75 1S index. Okay, we are getting there now. I really love that pair so much. But now I'm only trading crash 1000. That's nothing beautiful. WYCKOFF. Really grab liquidity 75 minus a rate of liquidity. Now some people might ask that why didn't I wouldn't do it. We are just having as opportunities here to smart field, right? Not like the same thing here also. Grab liquidity to the downside. It's coming down, so I also want to move down with the trend. Wherever the liquidity directs me, that's where I want to look for more and multiple entries. Okay. So guys, I think I've been able to analyze a little bit for you. Yeah, so remembering that I said after the liquidity grab, I wanted to follow wherever the market is going whenever it is grabbing liquidity. Okay, so there was liquidity grab here, there was a break of structure, and then there was another zone here also. There was a break of structure after the liquidity grab, and then that was what we're going to be using for our entry. And as you can see, almost how many pips now? You can see very crazy. So I'm very happy about this, honestly. Very happy about this. So if you are watching my YouTube videos one way or the other, at least one pair should have given you profits. Just like Euro CHF 2 weeks ago, gave some people profits, and I was happy about that. It's, in fact, a lot of things, a lot of pairs that have been playing as well. So what should we still be expecting? That supply zone is still valid. Now we have a demand zone here, mitigated nicely. So looking at this, mitigated is 1 hour supply. Let's just enter the 30 minutes. Okay, there was no mitigation on 30 minutes here. Let's check the 15. Okay, there was no mitigation. So the best entry here was aggressive entry. Let's check 10 minutes. Yeah, so there's still some entries here too, as you can see, re-entries, entries. So I wouldn't emphasize too much. This was the 1 hour demand zone we were looking at earlier. This was a break of structure, and this is a 10 minutes demand zone. Right, very beautiful trade. So volatility index, what am I expecting on volatility index 75 1S? I'm expecting to buy into this zone. Okay, then look for 7. But while it is buying, you can still look for demand zones that will hold, demand zones that will hold, like this one, so on and so forth. So last pair for this is 75. I think I made an analysis here to last week. Okay, this one played out also well. You can see played out like charm. I was expecting this to grab liquidity. Remember, I was expecting this to use the supply. That was playing out like charm. Okay, didn't mitigate that zone. Didn't get there, right? It almost got there. So you can see how it played out very, very nicely. Okay. And then mitigated the supply zone. Very beautiful setup. Yeah, still for those that trade volatile and not traded two beautiful entries. That three if your attack values also separated of that so much, but for now I'm GBP, JPY. Now let's look for shorting opportunities here. What about long opportunities? Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. See how straight is buying volatility 75 1S index. Okay, that's this was the supply zone I marked out. Oh, I think this one I marked was in the Sunday webinars with my students. Okay, this one I marked out was in the Sunday webinars with my students when someone asked me to analyze 75 1x. But you can see here, this one too also got mitigated at least. Now coming down is still very bearish, right? Still very bearish. What are the selling opportunities we have? We have one over there, and we have one over here. Okay, so these are the two supply zones I'm looking forward to work with. Yeah, so these are the two supply zones I'm looking forward to work with, and I won't be able to analyze all the volatility index best, but with my explanation on crash 1000, volatility 751s, and the volatility 75 index, they really played out very, very well, and they played out nicely. So let me save this for the sake of next week. Yeah, I think that's going to be all for now. If you are new to this YouTube channel, make sure to click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification icon so you can get notified whenever I drop a video. If you like this content, drop a like. If you have any question, drop any comments, and then make sure to share with your friends who are also forex traders. So for my mentorship, it's still 100 USD. If you're interested, let me know in my Telegram chat. Okay, just chat me up. I'm going to respond to you. I think that's going to be all for now. Peace, guys. I'm out. See you in the next one.